Welcome back to our walkthrough of Luke chapters 1 and 2 as we look at the last section. Luke chapter 2, verses 22 to 52. Two stories from Jesus' childhood. We don't have a lot of stories from Jesus' childhood, but here Luke gives us two very important ones that seem to mirror each other. In the first, Jesus is taken as a baby to the temple to be dedicated. And in the second, Jesus is taken as a young man to the temple. So we have two temple visits in Jesus' childhood, both of which reflect a very normal human experience. He was a very normal Jewish boy. A lot of children would have been taken to the temple to be dedicated. They would have had, their parents would have taken some kind of a sacrifice. In the case of Joseph and Mary, probably a couple of little doves that they just sacrificed to dedicate him to the Lord, to buy him back. The Old Testament law had said that every firstborn son belonged to the Lord, and if you wanted to keep him in your family and not give him over to the temple to be raised, you had to offer something in return, something to redeem him. And so, just like many firstborn boys, Jesus was redeemed by his parents giving over an animal sacrifice. Later on, as a 12-year-old boy, his parents take him to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover, another normal human experience, part of life for a Jewish family to go and celebrate the Passover at that high place of worship in their culture. But we also see in both of these stories moments that show that Jesus is absolutely no normal person. In the first, as he's being brought to be dedicated, two people, Anna and Simeon, they come and they celebrate and sing over him because they've been blessed with the realization that this is the Savior, that it's been revealed to them that he is the Savior of sin. And they give Mary and Joseph some clues as to what that means for them as parents and for this little baby. And then later on when he's 12, Jesus has this conversation with the teachers of the law at the temple where he stays behind and argues theology with them and impresses them with his wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures. Mary and Joseph, of course, are distressed by the whole thing, but Jesus has that innocent phrase where he says, "Didn't you know I'd have to be about my Father's business?" Both of these stories, once again, show us something about who Jesus is, that he is both a normal human being and also not just a human being, but actually the Son of God, the Lord in the flesh, come to be our Savior. I have an amazing set of stories here. And we see at the very end, as Luke makes that last comment, that Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and favor with God and men. In other words, like everybody else, he had to grow up. He had to spend some time growing and learning so that he could be the perfect Savior for us, so that he could be the one that God had sent to take our sin and to redeem all of us. This is the beauty of the Christmas story, that it's about a baby being born, a human baby, but it's also about God coming to be among us. Merry Christmas.